Life has a way of throwing challenges at us when we least expect them. Whether it's a personal setback, a professional hurdle, or a global crisis, tough times can leave us feeling overwhelmed and emotionally drained. But what if I told you there's a timeless philosophy that can help you not just survive these moments, but emerge stronger from them? Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. This simple yet profound idea is at the heart of Stoicism, a philosophy that has guided countless individuals through life's most difficult moments. In this video, we'll explore 18 powerful Stoic lessons that can help you build emotional resilience when the world feels heavy. From practical strategies to mindset shifts, you'll discover tools to navigate hardship with clarity, courage, and calm. Let's dive in and uncover how you can harness the wisdom of the Stoics to face tough times with unwavering strength. The first lesson in building emotional strength is understanding the Stoic dichotomy of control. Epictetus, a key figure in Stoic philosophy, put it simply, some things are within our power and some things are not. This principle is the foundation of Stoic resilience. It teaches us to direct our energy toward what we can influence: our thoughts, actions, and responses, and let go of what lies beyond our control, like the actions of others or external circumstances. By focusing on what's within our power, we reclaim a sense of agency, even in the most challenging situations. Imagine you're dealing with a demanding project at work. You can't control tight deadlines or unexpected setbacks, but you can control how you prepare, how you manage your time, and how you choose to respond to stress. This shift in focus not only reduces anxiety, but also empowers you to navigate obstacles with greater clarity and purpose. Take a moment to reflect. Where in your life can you apply this principle? What are the things you've been worrying about that you can't control, and what steps can you take to focus on what you can? This simple yet profound shift can transform how you approach life's challenges. Next, we turn to the wisdom of Seneca, one of Stoicism's most eloquent voices. He once wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." This lesson is about accepting adversity as an inevitable part of life, not as something to fear, but as something to learn from. Seneca believed that challenges are not random punishments, but opportunities for growth. They test our character, refine our resilience, and ultimately make us stronger. Consider this: every time you face a setback, it's a chance to develop patience, creativity, or perseverance. Think of a time when you failed at something, maybe a project, a relationship, or a personal goal. At the moment, it might have felt like the end of the world, but looking back, didn't it teach you something valuable? Perhaps you discovered a hidden strength, learned to adapt, or gained a new perspective. Adversity, when embraced, becomes a powerful teacher. So, the next time life throws you a curveball, ask yourself, what can this situation teach me? How can I grow from it? By shifting your mindset to see challenges as opportunities, you'll find that even the toughest moments can lead to profound personal transformation. Now, let's explore the third lesson, practicing detachment from outcomes. This idea is rooted in the Stoic principle of amor fati, a Latin phrase meaning love of fate. Marcus Aurelius captured this beautifully when he said, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." Amor fati invites us to embrace life as it unfolds, not as we wish it would. It's about relinquishing our grip on the uncontrollable and finding peace in the journey rather than fixating on the destination. When we detach from outcomes, we free ourselves from the anxiety of needing things to go a certain way. Instead, we focus on doing our best in the present moment, knowing that the result is ultimately out of our hands. Picture this: you're preparing for an important presentation. You've done the work, practiced your delivery, and prepared meticulously. But instead of obsessing over how the audience will react or whether they'll approve, you focus on delivering your message with clarity and conviction. If the presentation goes well, great. If it doesn't, you've still gained valuable experience. By detaching from the outcome, you're able to approach the task with calm confidence rather than fear of judgment. This mindset doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you care deeply about your effort while letting go of the need for a specific result. Take a moment to reflect: where in your life are you overly attached to outcomes? How might practicing amor fati help you approach those situations with greater ease and resilience? By embracing this Stoic lesson, you'll find that letting go of the need for control can be incredibly liberating, opening the door to a more peaceful and empowered way of living. How often do you find yourself lost in thoughts about the future, replaying past mistakes, or worrying about things that haven't even happened yet? It's easy to get caught up in what was or what could be, but Stoicism reminds us that the only moment we truly have is the present. Epictetus wisely said, "Man is disturbed not by things, but by the views he takes of them." This means that our suffering often stems not from the events themselves, but from how we choose to interpret and dwell on them. By anchoring ourselves in the here and now, we can break free from the mental noise that robs us of peace. This idea aligns closely with mindfulness, a practice that encourages us to fully engage with the present moment without judgment. For example, one simple but powerful exercise is to focus on your breath. Take a deep inhale, hold it for a moment, and then exhale slowly. Notice how your chest rises and falls, the air entering and leaving your body. This small act can ground you, pulling your attention away from distractions and into the present. Mindfulness, like Stoicism, isn't about ignoring problems or pretending everything is fine. It's about facing reality with clarity and calm, one moment at a time. Today, try to bring this practice into your daily life. Whether you're eating a meal, walking, or having a conversation, pay full attention to what's happening right now. Notice the details, the sensations, and the emotions you might otherwise overlook. By embracing the present moment, you'll find that life becomes richer and your ability to handle challenges grows stronger. So, where can you start practicing presence in your life today? Sometimes life's toughest moments can feel all-consuming, like a storm that won't let up. But even in the midst of chaos, there's often a glimmer of light, a lesson, a small blessing, or a moment of clarity. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This simple act of reflection is a cornerstone of gratitude, a practice that has the power to transform how we experience hardship. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is perfect. Instead, it's about intentionally shifting our focus to what we still have, even when things feel bleak. Think about a time when you faced a challenge. Maybe it was a job loss or a difficult breakup. Amid the struggle, did you notice moments of unexpected kindness, a supportive friend, a quiet morning walk, or a chance to rediscover what truly matters to you? These silver linings, no matter how small, can become anchors of strength when the waves get rough. One practical way to cultivate gratitude is by keeping a journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be grand. Sometimes it's as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a smile from a stranger, or the sound of birdsong outside your window. Over time, this practice trains your mind to seek out the good, even in the midst of the bad. It's like building a mental muscle that helps you stay grounded and resilient. So let's try it now. What are 3 things you're grateful for today? Pause the video for a moment and jot them down. By embracing gratitude, you'll find that even in tough times, there's always something to hold on to. a reminder that life, with all its ups and downs, is still a gift worth cherishing. One of the most powerful tools in the Stoic arsenal is self-discipline. Seneca once remarked, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." At its core, discipline isn't about punishment or restriction, it's about mastery over your own mind and actions. It's the ability to choose what's right over what's easy, even when life gets tough. This inner strength doesn't come from sheer willpower alone, it's built through consistent, intentional habits. Think of discipline as a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Take waking up early to exercise, for example. It might feel grueling at first, but over time it becomes a source of energy, focus, and pride. This small act of discipline sets the tone for the day, reminding you that you're in control of your choices, no matter what challenges arise. The key is to start small. Identify one habit, just one that aligns with your goals, and commit to it. Maybe it's dedicating 10 minutes a day to meditation, limiting screen time before bed, or setting aside time to learn something new. Whatever it is, make it specific, manageable, and meaningful. Over time, these small acts of discipline compound, building a foundation of resilience that can carry you through life's toughest moments. So here's a challenge for you. What's one habit you can start today to strengthen your discipline? Write it down and take the first step. By committing to this practice, you'll not only build emotional strength, but also cultivate a sense of control and confidence that can't be shaken. How do you view the obstacles in your life? Are they roadblocks or are they stepping stones? Epictetus offers a powerful perspective. Every difficulty in life presents us with an opportunity to turn inward and to invoke our own submerged inner resources. This idea lies at the heart of Stoic reframing, the practice of seeing challenges not as burdens but as chances to grow, learn, and evolve. It's about shifting your mindset from "why is this happening to me?" to "what can I gain from this?" Reframing doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It's about finding meaning in the struggle and using it to your advantage. Take, for instance, a story of a professional who lost their job unexpectedly. At first, it felt like a devastating blow, but over time, they realized it was an opportunity to pivot into a field they were truly passionate about. What seemed like a setback became the catalyst for a more fulfilling career. The Stoics believed that every challenge carries a hidden gift, but it's up to us to uncover it. So, what's the obstacle you're facing right now? Could it be an invitation to develop patience, resilience, or creativity? Could it be pushing you toward a path you hadn't considered before? By reframing your challenges as opportunities, you transform them from sources of frustration into tools for personal growth. The next time life throws you a curveball, pause and ask yourself, how can I use this to my advantage? What inner strength can I cultivate through this experience? This shift in perspective won't erase the difficulty, but it will empower you to face it with purpose and possibility. Now, let's explore a lesson that might sound counterintuitive at first, but is incredibly effective in building resilience: voluntarily embracing discomfort. Seneca once said, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" This practice, known as voluntary discomfort, is about intentionally putting yourself in situations that challenge your comfort zone, not to punish yourself, but to prepare for life's inevitable hardships. By willingly enduring small discomforts, you train your mind and body to handle adversity with greater ease. Think of it like a mental gym. Just as lifting weights strengthens your muscles, voluntarily facing discomfort strengthens your resilience. For example, something as simple as taking a cold shower in the morning can be a powerful exercise. At first, it's uncomfortable, even unpleasant, but over time, you learn to endure it and even find a sense of accomplishment in doing so. Or consider fasting for a meal, not out of necessity but as a deliberate choice to experience hunger and practice self-control. These small acts of discomfort teach you that you're capable of enduring more than you think, which builds confidence and adaptability. So here's a challenge for you. What's one small act of voluntary discomfort you can try this week? Maybe it's walking instead of driving, limiting screen time, or even sleeping without a pillow. The goal isn't to make yourself miserable, but to remind yourself that you're stronger than your circumstances. By practicing voluntary discomfort, you're not just preparing for tough times, you're proving to yourself that you can thrive in the face of them. Imagine carrying around a heavy weight day after day, letting it drain your energy and cloud your thoughts. This is what holding onto anger and resentment can feel like, a burden that weighs you down and keeps you stuck in the past. Now picture this: a man named James was passed over for a promotion he had worked tirelessly for. He felt betrayed, furious, and consumed by thoughts of revenge. But instead of letting his anger control him, he turned to Stoic philosophy, specifically a quote from Marcus Aurelius. "You don't have to turn this into something. It doesn't have to upset you." This simple yet profound idea became his guiding light. James realized that his anger wasn't hurting the person who wronged him, it was only hurting himself. By choosing to let go of that resentment, he freed up mental energy to focus on his own growth and opportunities. Over time, he even found the strength to forgive his colleague, not because the person deserved it, but because James deserved peace. Letting go of anger isn't about excusing someone's actions or pretending you weren't hurt. It's about reclaiming your power and choosing not to let someone else's behavior dictate your emotional state. Think about a time when someone wronged you. Maybe it was a friend who betrayed your trust, a partner who let you down, or a stranger who was unkind. Holding onto that anger might feel justified, but it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Forgiveness, in the Stoic sense, is a gift you give yourself, a way to release the grip of negativity and move forward with clarity and purpose. So take a moment to reflect. Is there someone or something you're holding onto anger about? What would it feel like to let that go, even just a little? It's not easy, and it doesn't happen overnight, but every small step toward forgiveness is a step toward freedom. By practicing this Stoic lesson, you'll find that letting go of anger doesn't just lighten your emotional load, it opens up space for growth, peace, and a deeper sense of control over your own life. In a world that often measures worth by titles, bank accounts, or social media followers, Stoicism offers a refreshing counterpoint. True success lies not in external achievements but in the quality of your character. Epictetus put it plainly: first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. In other words, your actions should align with your values, not your desire for approval or material gain. This focus on virtue qualities like honesty, courage, wisdom, and justice forms the bedrock of emotional strength. When you prioritize virtue, you're no longer at the mercy of outside validation or fleeting rewards. Instead, you cultivate an inner compass that guides you through life's ups and downs with integrity and purpose. Imagine this scenario: you're at work, and you notice a colleague taking credit for an idea that was yours. It's tempting to call them out publicly or let resentment fester. But what if instead you chose to address the situation privately and calmly, sticking to the truth without seeking to embarrass or retaliate? This choice might not earn you immediate recognition or a promotion, but it strengthens your character and preserves your self-respect. Over time, these small acts of integrity build a reservoir of confidence and trust in yourself, qualities far more enduring than any external accolade. So here's a question to consider: how do you define success? Is it about achieving a certain status, or is it about becoming the kind of person you're proud to be? The Stoics remind us that while we can't always control the results of our efforts, we can always control how we show up in the world. By focusing on virtue over external success, you're not just building emotional strength, you're creating a life rooted in meaning and authenticity. Take a moment to reflect. What's one virtue you'd like to prioritize in your actions today? Whether it's kindness, perseverance, or fairness, embodying that virtue is a step toward a richer, more resilient way of living. Let's dive into a practice that might feel a little uncomfortable at first, but has the power to transform how you handle uncertainty: negative visualization. The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, which translates to the premeditation of evils. Seneca explained it this way: what is quite unlooked for is more crushing in its effect, and unexpectedness adds to the weight of a disaster. The man who has nothing to fear expects nothing to happen. In other words, by imagining the worst-case scenarios in advance, we take away their power to shock or overwhelm us. This isn't about dwelling on negativity or inviting fear into your life. It's about preparing yourself mentally so that, if challenges arise, you're ready to face them with calm and clarity. Think about it this way: if you've ever rehearsed a tough conversation in your head, you've already practiced a form of negative visualization. Let's say you're about to discuss a sensitive topic with a friend. You might imagine them reacting defensively or shutting down entirely. By playing out these possibilities, you're not only preparing emotionally, but also brainstorming ways to respond thoughtfully and constructively. When the moment comes, you're less likely to be caught off guard and more likely to handle the situation with composure. This exercise isn't limited to conversations either. You can apply it to almost any aspect of life, from preparing for a job interview to planning for financial uncertainty. Here's how you can start. Take a moment to think about a situation that's causing you anxiety or uncertainty. Now imagine the worst possible outcome. Really sit with it. What would it look like and how would it feel? Next, ask yourself, what steps could I take to mitigate that outcome? How would I cope if it actually happened? By confronting the fear head-on, you're not only reducing its emotional grip, but also arming yourself with practical solutions. Over time, this practice builds resilience, helping you face life's uncertainties with confidence rather than dread. So, what's one area of your life where you could try negative visualization today? Whether it's a personal challenge or a professional hurdle, taking a few moments to prepare mentally can make all the difference. By embracing this Stoic exercise, you'll find that you're not just surviving tough times, you're thriving in the face of them. Have you ever found yourself in a conflict where it felt like neither side could truly understand the other? Misunderstandings, disagreements, and emotional distance can strain even the strongest relationships. But what if there was a way to bridge that gap and build deeper connections? Marcus Aurelius offered a timeless insight. Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? This simple yet profound question invites us to step into another person's shoes and see the world through their eyes. It's the essence of empathy, a practice that not only strengthens relationships but also aligns perfectly with Stoic principles. The Stoics believed in focusing on what we can control, and while we can't control how others think or act, we can control how we respond to them. By choosing empathy, we shift from judgment to understanding, from conflict to connection. Imagine this scenario: you've had a long day at work, and you come home to find that your partner forgot to complete a task you'd asked them to do. Your first instinct might be to express frustration or disappointment. But what if instead you pause to consider what might be going on in their life? Maybe they've been juggling their own challenges, or perhaps they misinterpreted your request. By approaching the situation with empathy, you create space for a constructive conversation rather than an argument. This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings or compromising your boundaries. It means choosing to see the humanity in the other person and responding with kindness rather than blame. Empathy is a skill that can be cultivated, and it starts with a willingness to listen and understand. The next time you're in a conversation, try this. Really focus on the other person's words without interrupting or planning your response. Notice their tone, their body language, and the emotions behind what they're saying. This simple act of presence can transform the dynamic of the interaction, fostering mutual respect and trust. So here's a challenge. In your next interaction, whether it's with a loved one, a colleague, or even a stranger, make a conscious effort to practice empathy. Ask yourself, what might this person be going through? How can I respond in a way that fosters understanding rather than conflict? By embracing this Stoic lesson, you'll not only strengthen your relationships but also cultivate a deeper sense of compassion and connection in your life. Life is a series of moments, each one fleeting, each one replaced by the next. The Stoics understood this truth deeply. Epictetus once said, "Keep in mind that everything that exists is already fraying at the edges and in transition, subject to fragmentation and to rot." This might sound stark, but it's a reminder of the fundamental nature of existence. Nothing lasts forever. Change is not just inevitable, it's the very essence of life. And yet, so much of our anxiety stems from resisting this truth, clinging to how things are or how we wish they would be. By accepting impermanence as a natural law, we can reduce that tension and find peace in the flow of life. Think about it. When you hold too tightly to something, whether it's a job, a relationship, or even a particular phase of life, you're setting yourself up for pain when it inevitably shifts. Take the example of a woman named Sarah who worked in the same company for over a decade. When the company went through a restructuring, she lost her job. At first, the loss felt devastating, but instead of dwelling on what was gone, she chose to see it as an opportunity to pivot into a completely new career, one that aligned more closely with her passions. By embracing the impermanence of her old role, she opened herself up to a brighter, more fulfilling future. The key to accepting impermanence lies in shifting your perspective. Instead of viewing change as a threat, see it as a natural part of the human experience. Like the seasons, life has its cycles of growth, decay, and renewal. When you accept this, you're no longer fighting against the tide, you're flowing with it. This doesn't mean you stop caring or striving. It means you approach life with a sense of openness and adaptability. So take a moment to reflect. What are you holding onto too tightly? Is it a relationship, a possession, or even an idea of how your life should be? By loosening your grip just a little, you allow space for new possibilities to emerge. Impermanence isn't something to fear. It's a reminder to cherish what you have while it's here and to trust in what's to come. By embracing this Stoic lesson, you'll find that life becomes not just easier to navigate, but richer and more meaningful. Lesson 14 is about practicing compassion without attachment, a delicate balance that's central to Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You can commit injustice by doing nothing. Be good to others, but take care of yourself also." This insight captures the essence of compassionate detachment, the ability to care deeply for others while safeguarding your own emotional well-being. It's a reminder that helping others doesn't mean carrying their burdens to the point of exhaustion. Instead, it's about offering support from a place of strength, not depletion. Think of it like this: you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly giving without replenishing yourself, you'll eventually burn out, leaving you unable to help anyone, including yourself. This principle is especially relevant in relationships, where it's easy to blur the lines between empathy and over-involvement. Here's an example. Imagine a friend is going through a tough time and leans on you for emotional support. You listen, offer advice, and show up for them in meaningful ways. But as the weeks go by, their struggles start to weigh heavily on you. You find yourself losing sleep, feeling drained, and even neglecting your own needs. This is where compassionate detachment comes in. It doesn't mean shutting your friend out or withholding kindness. Instead, it's about recognizing your limits and communicating them clearly. Maybe you set a boundary by letting them know you're there for them, but suggesting they also seek professional help. This way, you're still offering support, but you're also protecting your own mental health. The key to this balance lies in knowing your boundaries and honoring them. It's okay to say no, to step back when you need to, and to prioritize your own well-being. Doing so doesn't make you selfish, it makes you a better ally in the long run. So take a moment to reflect, where in your life could you practice compassionate detachment? Are there relationships or situations where you've been overextending yourself? By setting healthy boundaries, you're not just preserving your peace, you're creating space to give in a way that's sustainable and meaningful. This Stoic lesson reminds us that true compassion isn't about sacrificing yourself, it's about caring for others while also caring for yourself. Picture this: a young professional named Alex is walking into a high-stakes meeting. The room is packed with senior leaders and the pressure is intense. As the discussion begins, someone challenges Alex's proposal with sharp criticism. Instantly, Alex feels a surge of anger and defensiveness, but instead of reacting impulsively, they take a deep breath and remind themselves of a Stoic principle. Emotions are natural, but they don't have to dictate your actions. Alex chooses to pause, assess the feedback objectively, and respond with logic rather than emotion. The result, a constructive conversation that not only salvages the meeting but earns Alex respect for their composure. This is the power of using reason to overcome emotion, a practice deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. Seneca, one of Stoicism's most influential thinkers, put it this way: reason rules all things, and yet it does not always rule the emotions unless it has trained and educated them. In other words, while we can't always control how we feel, we can control how we respond to those feelings. Stoics believe that reason is our greatest tool for navigating life's emotional storms. By stepping back and analyzing a situation objectively, we can untangle the web of emotions and act with clarity and purpose. Let's break this down with an example. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, late for an important appointment. Your first instinct might be frustration or even anger, but instead of letting those emotions take over, you can apply reason. Ask yourself, is my anger going to make the traffic move faster? Probably not. What can I control in this situation? Maybe I can use the time to listen to a podcast or plan my day. By shifting your focus to what's within your control, you transform a stressful moment into an opportunity for mindfulness or productivity. The key to this practice is cultivating awareness. When emotions rise, take a moment to pause and ask yourself, what's really going on here? What's driving this feeling? And is there a more rational way to approach the situation? This isn't about suppressing emotions, but about understanding them and choosing how to act. Over time, this habit builds emotional resilience, helping you respond to challenges with calm and confidence. So here's a challenge for you. The next time you feel overwhelmed by emotions, try to apply reason. Whether it's frustration at work, tension in a relationship, or anxiety about the future, pause and ask yourself, what's the most logical way to handle this? By making this a regular practice, you'll find that reason becomes your anchor, helping you navigate even the stormiest emotional seas. This Stoic lesson isn't just about managing emotions. It's about reclaiming your power to choose how you respond to life's challenges. Lesson 16 centers around a powerful Stoic principle, building confidence through action. Epictetus, one of the most practical Stoic philosophers, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." At its core, this lesson is about taking responsibility for your choices and actively shaping your life rather than waiting for circumstances to change. Confidence doesn't come from thinking or planning alone, it comes from doing. Every time you take purposeful action, no matter how small, you reinforce your belief in your ability to handle whatever life throws your way. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Imagine this: you've been offered an opportunity to speak at a public event, but the thought of standing in front of a crowd fills you with dread. You could decline, stay in your comfort zone and avoid the discomfort, or you could take a deep breath, say yes, and face that fear head-on. The first option might feel safe, but the second. That's where growth happens. By stepping up to the podium despite your nerves, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. Even if the speech doesn't go perfectly, the act of doing it builds resilience and confidence that will serve you in other areas of life. Action, in this sense, becomes a form of self-empowerment. The Stoics believed that the only way to truly build emotional strength is to engage with life, not retreat from it. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or for all your doubts to disappear. It's about starting where you are with what you have. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Over time, these actions accumulate, creating a foundation of confidence that's unshakable. So, here's a challenge for you. What's one action you've been avoiding? Maybe it's starting a new project, having a difficult conversation, or simply committing to a healthier habit. Whatever it is, take the first step today. Remember, it's not about the outcome, it's about showing up for yourself and proving that you have the courage to try. By embracing this Stoic lesson, you'll find that confidence isn't something you wait for, it's something you build one action at a time. Why do we suffer? It's a question as old as humanity itself, and one that has puzzled philosophers, theologians, and everyday people alike. Marcus Aurelius offered a profound perspective when he wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." This idea suggests that suffering, while painful, can also be a gateway to growth, transformation, and even meaning. The Stoics believed that adversity isn't something to avoid or resent. It's something to engage with, learn from, and ultimately use as a stepping stone toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world. Think about it. Some of the most profound lessons in life come from our hardest moments. A broken heart can teach us about resilience, a career setback can reveal new opportunities, and even a loss can deepen our appreciation for what truly matters. Take the story of Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist who found meaning in the midst of unimaginable suffering. In his book Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl wrote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." His experience in the concentration camps led him to develop logotherapy, a form of therapy centered on the belief that finding meaning is the key to human resilience. Frankl's life is a testament to the Stoic idea that suffering, when faced with purpose, can become a source of strength and inspiration. This doesn't mean that pain is easy or that it's always possible to find meaning in the moment. Sometimes it's only in hindsight that we can see how a difficult experience shaped us. But even in the midst of suffering, there's an opportunity to ask, what can I learn from this? How can I use this challenge to grow? These questions don't erase the pain, but they can help you navigate it with a sense of purpose and possibility. So take a moment to reflect. What's a struggle you've faced and how has it shaped you? Whether it's a personal loss, a professional failure, or a moment of doubt, there's likely a lesson embedded in that experience. By finding meaning in your suffering, you're not just enduring it, you're transforming it into a source of strength. This Stoic lesson reminds us that even in our darkest moments, we have the power to find light, purpose, and growth. As we wrap up our exploration of Stoic wisdom, let's zoom way out to the cosmic perspective. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, Think of the universe as one living being with a single substance and a single soul. Think of how everything is absorbed into this consciousness, how everything moves in unison. This reminder of our place in the vastness of time and space is both humbling and liberating. When we feel overwhelmed by the small frustrations of daily life, this perspective can be a powerful antidote. After all, in the grand scheme of the universe, how much does a missed deadline, a rude comment, or a spilled coffee truly matter? Take this example. You're stuck in a long line at the grocery store, growing more impatient by the minute. Your frustration builds as you think about all the things you could be doing instead. But then you pause and remind yourself of the bigger picture. That line, that moment, is just one tiny blip in the infinite expanse of your life and the universe. The delay won't change the course of history, and your irritation won't make the line move faster. By shifting your focus to the cosmic scale, you're able to let go of the annoyance and find peace in the present moment. This practice isn't about dismissing your feelings or pretending small things don't matter. It's about gaining perspective, realizing that while the little things are part of life, they don't define it. The Stoics believed that this cosmic view could help us prioritize what truly matters and let go of what doesn't. It's like stepping back from a painting. Up close, you might see individual brushstrokes, but from a distance, you see the whole masterpiece. So here's a question to ponder. What's one small thing that's been bothering you lately? How might it look from a cosmic perspective? By zooming out, you'll find that many of life's stressors lose their grip, leaving you with a greater sense of calm and clarity. This final Stoic lesson invites you to remember that while your problems are real, they're also fleeting, and that in the vastness of the universe, you're part of something far greater than any single moment or struggle. By embracing this perspective, you'll not only build emotional resilience, but also cultivate a deeper appreciation for the beauty and mystery of existence. And with that, we've journeyed through 18 powerful Stoic lessons designed to help you build unshakable emotional strength in tough times. From understanding the dichotomy of control to practicing gratitude, embracing discomfort, and finding meaning in suffering, each of these principles offers a unique tool for navigating life's challenges with resilience and grace. Together, they form a framework, a guide for transforming adversity into opportunity, fear into courage, and pain into growth. Epictetus, one of Stoicism's greatest teachers, put it best: "He who is brave is free." These lessons aren't just about enduring hardship. They're about freeing yourself from the grip of fear, doubt, and negativity, so you can live with purpose and peace. The beauty of Stoic philosophy lies in its practicality. These aren't abstract ideas meant to stay on the page. They're actionable insights you can apply to your life starting today. Whether it's reframing a challenge as an opportunity, practicing mindfulness in the present moment, or choosing empathy in a conflict, each lesson invites you to take small, meaningful steps toward becoming the strongest, most resilient version of yourself. Now it's your turn. What's one lesson that resonated with you? How can you start applying it to your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear how Stoicism is making a difference for you. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more content like this. Together, let's continue exploring the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and building lives filled with strength, purpose, and peace. Thanks for watching, and remember, no matter what life throws your way, you have the power to rise above it.